Welcome to the latest edition of the Campaign Doctor. Personally, I always found it more interesting to answer the question what should be done rather than who will win. In other words, I always found the actor perspective more interesting than the one of the prediction. But of course, election season is high season for prediction models. And the good thing in the US is that we have plenty of them. Various approaches and methodologies lead to different results. For me, it's not one or the other. I think each one has its merits, its strengths, and its weaknesses. I first became aware of Nate Silver, I think it was during a midterm election when he accurately predicted every except one races for the US Senate. And of course, he was all over the media, he was celebrated, and then a little bit later, when Hillary Clinton ran for president, he said that she has a 90% chance of winning, and we all know how that one turned out. There is this Republican pollster, Trafalgar Group, who was one of the few who did not underestimate Donald Trump. Of course, that made him famous. He was celebrated on Fox News, and during the last midterm elections, he totally underestimated Democratic support and was a little bit less celebrated. Now, in general, I think pollsters in the US use ridiculously small sample sizes, not all of them, but sometimes. I also think that it's ill-advised to look at the averages of polls, and in general, if you weigh the raw data, you sort of admit that you can't do random sampling, which is of course the heart and the essence of polling. So in other words, one may get lucky, but I don't think any amount of polling is enough to really seriously predict the outcome of this race. I'll have to live with the fact that it's probably a close race. How about the fundamentals? Well, Professor Lichtman is of course a very smart guy, and I quote his keys to the White House in my book. In this specific case, though, I'm a little bit concerned that the keys are a bit short on inflation. I also think that sometimes he's tweaking the model a bit to fit the circumstances, and I also think that some of the keys at least depend on spin doctoring, or what I would consider campaigning. So my takeaway from all this discussion about the prediction is the following. You're not as smart as you may think you are when you get it all right. You're certainly not as dumb as many people say, especially on social media, when you get it wrong. Thanks for watching, and affaire à suivre.